Captain Howdy, Jody, Little Boss Hogg. Actually, I think that last one was a real character. But the imaginary friend in a horror film has been well used, hasn't it? And it's often not used just on its own, really. It's often used as a precursor to, hello, something's happening here. You could say it like that, or you might say, hello, I believe something might be occurring in this general vicinity. Could say that. But, you know, it's generally a precursor to something happening. And in the spirit of Halloween 2024, which will be tomorrow night, folks. Oh dear, let's give up the fags. Anyway, in the spirit of that, I watched Imaginary, which is it's done well at the box office. I mean, it's made probably 3 times its budget back, but well, it's never easy to base an entity on or in an imaginary friend, because you're going to want to, I mean, you do get to see something here, but you know, you want to see how long that holds, don't you? And secondly, you don't necessarily want the entity to take over a bear, a teddy bear. And it's not a teddy bear as in Ted, or it's not a kind of demonic ventriloquist dummy as in gonna be a star magic, you know. It's not like that. It doesn't really have much of an expressive face. They don't go for that. There is quite a frightening moment where you just cut to the bear and it's looking round, but looking away, not looking at you. That would have been scarier, wouldn't it? But looking away. Anyway, it's okay. It's about a woman who is going back to her family home. Her mother passed, I think, if I remember rightly, and her father suddenly became emotionally ill and is in some kind of facility nearby, and she's still hurt by that, of course. She, of course, finds later on that he was made ill by trying to save his little daughter. That's Jessica, played by DeWanda Wise, with a kind of resigned nature right from the beginning. She's struggling, folks, and you know, really hurt in the way that quite a lot of people in movies and in music now are. You know, I'm hurt and I want everybody to see it. And she's in a new relationship with Tom Payne. You know, the kind of trendy film, a pop star looking English actor who actually won't be in quite a lot of this movie because he is actually going on tour with the band. They don't look right together at all. There is no charisma between them. They don't seem to fit together, and neither does she seem to fit with his 2 kids, Taylor and Alice. Now, Alice is the really interesting one here because she's the one with the imaginary friend, played by Piper Braun, with a kind of disarming honesty, actually, really nice. So they move to the familial home and things start to happen. She finds, does Alice, the bear in an attic. There is a basement. Yeah, and it's not kind of, it's the portal to hell, you know, like in Poltergeist. But it's not Poltergeist, the Amityville Horror, which which still shits me up right now. It really does, even now it does. I'm poo-poo caca every time. Anyway, there's nothing like that, but there is a kind of portal through to another world. More of that in a moment, unfortunately. But the thing is, there's a lot of, well, I'm not really getting on with the kids, and I'm certainly not getting on with Alice, who seems to be behaving very strangely and making a list of things like, could I have a spoon? I need to do something which hurts me or which scares me, so I'm going to put my hand through a rusty nail. All of that. I mean, that actually does happen. You can see the hand going through it. That would be, I think this is a 15. So I don't think we're going to have any of that. We also have Veronica Falcone as Dr. Alana Soto, who comes in to do a bit of therapy on little Alice. And the extraordinary thing is that when we see Alice first, she's the good doctor is sitting in a chair, and across the room is a sofa, and in the corner of the sofa sits the bear, and Chauncey Bear, called, and he's played by Dan DeLiegro. It's not a man in a bear suit, don't worry, nothing like that. It is actually just a stuffed bear. But she starts to talk and have a conversation with him and tries to tell him how she feels, and he's not having any of it. And the conversation continues even when she's not talking. That's one thing that the good doctor wants to show DeWanda, Jessica, but she's more interested in, well, where's the bear? There was no bear there. No, there was a bear. So they're trying to wring as much out of this as they can. It ain't great, to be honest. It ain't. There's not a lot of set pieces in it, to be honest. There's not a lot you can do with it, is there? There's gubbins about an ex-patient who used a similar phrase that never ever that I think Alice has been using. Alice then disappears, and there's a quite a I suppose creepy, because she's very honest, neighbour who remembers Jessica when she was very young and remembers there was a problem then. And then it becomes a bit silly. It's actually quite taut up till then. You know you're not going to get a lot of really big scares, but you do know that you're going to get, that they're managing those scares rather well. It is quite tense at times, and if workmanlike. But then they find this portal, and it goes through to a sort of playground of different rooms, and there is a creature in there, and the bear becomes, oh, I suppose that could be Dan DeLiegro, couldn't it? Because he does get bigger, the bear does get bigger with enormous teeth and all of that, like in Grizzly Man. Remember that documentary? Oh, I advise you to watch it if you haven't seen it. Oh my word, yes. Anyway, it's like a sort of, there's an entity, and the entity's quite good actually, in that it's a sort of spider type thing. Very nice, given life by Michael Beckermeyer, who's does some fabulous work in it actually. That's a pre-credit sequence, or an early sequence of a dream that she had. But they're in a kind of what's up and what's down sort of, playground really. Lots of rooms, and there's a thing about art. There's a big thing about art. Jessica is an artist. She's what I'm going to call it, a drawer. You're a drawer, I understand, Mr. Picasso. Yep, I'm a drawer, all right. And I see, Mr. Hockney, you're a drawer. Get out. Yeah, all of that. So, not that he would say that, I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't. But he'd be within his rights to, I think. Anyway, she's an artist who has published a children's book, There's quite a lot of where we used to draw on these walls, and her little stepdaughter, Alice, likes to draw as well, and you can do things like cover up the door to this other world by daubing black paint on it, because that always works, doesn't it? So there's an extended period during which the three of them, Jessica, Tegan Burns as Taylor, who's basically doing exactly what you might expect, really, and Betty Buckley as Gloria, the neighbour, are in this sort of strange, is it up, is it down kind of world. And it's sort of an explanation of, well, this is why it's so weird, because there's an alternative world. It's terrible. Just leave it as an entity, will you? The entity saps your strength, and did so to Jessica's father, which is why he can't see and why he's not well and all of that. And almost does it to her, but they managed to get out of there. There is a definitive ending to this. They're hoping that it makes us look at teddy bears, in a completely different way. I'm waiting for Rupert, the Raggetty story. One of those kind of blood and porridge things. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think there are many scares in teddy bears, are there? I don't think so. Today's the day the teddy bears have that. Oh, ow, no, please. Oh, not the teddy bears picnic. Oh, the teddy bears picnic is the demons from hell. It's a teddy bears picnic. It's not. I mean, all you might get is, well, did anybody bring the Scotch eggs? No Scotch eggs. No. But you're not going to get demons coming out, are you? Really? Yeah. Anyway, it's a bad choice, and they manage quite well with what they've got until they decide to go full fantasy with a bit of an 80s kind of look to it, actually. It's all kind of a bit neon and electric blue, that sort of thing, that sort of look. Until they go full fantasy, I'm with them. After that, I'm not with them. And by the way, spoiler alert, there's a false ending you can see coming a mile off. So, Imaginary made a load of money. So it's done extremely well, but it's not made extremely well. But then, you're on a bit of a loser to begin with, really, aren't you? Jeff Wadlow's done what he can. I mean, he was part of the writing as well. It's produced by Wadlow and Jason Blum. So, there's some big names in this. But I just feel teddy bears aren't scary, and neither are really imaginary friends, unless you're going to do something with it. And you know what? They just don't do enough. I can imagine that this movie scared the pants off me, but I'd be lying to myself. Ta-ta.